Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshinim. Oh, Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudevasutam devam kansachanuramardhanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadguru. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Dnyaan Vidyaan Yoga 7th Adhyay, and Sri Krishna telling us the ways to know Him, to realize Him, to make use of the Jnana that He has provided, convert that Jnana into Vidyana. Convert that knowledge, that theoretical knowledge that He has given, convert that knowledge into the realization of oneness with the Sri Krishna, of oneness with the Brahman, and not only Brahman, of seeing Brahman in all beings and seeing all beings in Brahman. That is the ultimate realization, and that's what Sri Krishna is telling, that unless and until you utilize this jnana into attaining the Vidyana, this theoretical knowledge, unless and until you use it to have actual realization, the ultimate realization, the enlightenment, the spiritual illumination, what is the use? And He's telling us all the ways. He is telling us everything about Himself. Who is He? What is the divine Lord? And Sri Krishna says that with this Maya constituted of the three gunas in this Prakriti, people consider Prakriti to be the real. People consider themselves to be the actual part of the Prakriti rather than the part of the ultimate truth. And they just forget what is reality. And Sri Krishna says that there are different types of people. Those who surrender to me, they can very well cross over this Maya. But then in the previous 15th Shloka, Sri Krishna told us there are some kind of people, they can never cross over this illusion of Maya, constituting the three gunas of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. They can never cross over, they can never escape the net of Maya. And who are those people? Sri Krishna told us in this 15th shloka, Dushkrutinaha mudhaha naradhmaha namam prapadyante namam dushkrutino mudhaha prapadyante naradhamaha. These three types of people. The evildoers, dushkrutinaha, mudhaha, ignorant ones, who don't want to gain any knowledge, any divine knowledge. And naradhamaha, those people who are driven by their lower tendencies of the lust and greed. Namam prapadyante, Sri Krishna says, they won't forget about surrendering to me. Surrendering is a far, later stage. They don't even seek me. Namam prapadyante. Mayaya aparuta jnānaha asuram bhavam ashritaha. Having been deluded, having been comes under such a strong influence of Maya, They have deprived their sense of discrimination. Dnyāna aparrutah. They have deprived, they have lost their sense of thinking what is real, what is unreal, and influenced by the Maya. Bhavam ashritaha asuram. They have taken the tendencies of the demonic qualities of the unrighteous people, of the unholy people, of doing nothing but bad, bad, bad. Bad, worse and worst. So those are the tendencies of such people, Sri Krishna says, who don't even seek me. They are the evildoers, they are the ignorant ones, and driven by the lower tendencies. The sukṛitinaha, mūಢaha, naradhamaha. There is no way of any hope for them. They are absolutely wretched and gone cases. And like Sri Ramakrishna told us in that example, the finer ones, they escape the sieve. The finer particles, they escape from the sieve, but the grosser ones, those who are, like Sri Krishna said, those who are dushkrutinaha, mūಢaha and naradhamaha, they are retained on the sieve. There is no scope for liberation for them. There is no scope for mukti for them. There is no scope for nirvana for them. And attaining this Vidyana of oneness, having the understanding, having the realization of oneness with the Supreme. But Sri Krishna says there are also some people who are devoted to me. While there is this type of a negative kind of people, Sri Krishna says there is hope. It is not a hopeless situation at all, O Arjuna. There is a hope. There are people who are devoted to me, who seek me, who think of surrendering to me. Whether they surrender or not is a different matter, but they have started the journey. And Sri Krishna is telling us about such people in the coming shlokas, the 16th shloka that we are going to read today. 4 types of virtuous and seekers. Chatur-vidhā bhajante mam janāḥ sukṛitino Arjuna ārto jijñāsur arthārthī jñānī cha bharatarṣhabha. Chatur-vidhā bhajante mam. 4 types of people, they worship me. Gone is the case of all those wretched people. Forget it. But 4 types of people, they do worship me. What? Janāḥ sukṛitinaha Arjuna. Oh Arjuna. There are 4 types of people. Sukṛitinaha, virtuous. Janāḥ. 4 types of virtuous people, they worship me, O Arjuna. And who are those? Ārto jijñāsur arthārthī jñānī cha bharatarṣhabha. Again Sri Krishna is addressing, first he has addressed Arjuna as Arjuna, fine, that is a normal way of addressing. But in the second line of this verse, Sri Krishna has again addressed Arjuna as bharatarṣhabha. Again, there is a reason for that. Now, 4 types of people Sri Krishna is saying, they worship me. Who are they? Ārtaha. Ārtaha is the distressed one. Those who have seen the worst kind of days, they worship me. Ārtaha. Another category, jijñāsur. Jijñāsur word Sri Krishna had earlier also asked us. When Arjuna asked him, had told us, when Arjuna had asked him that what happens to such yogis who cannot reach the end point of realization. Sri Krishna says, in the Dhyana Yoga, Sri Krishna had talked about this type of people as jijñāsur. Sri Krishna says even those who have some kind of inclination of knowing me, the inquisitiveness of knowing me, for them there is hope. It is not that it is a hopeless situation for them. For such jijñāsus also, fine, if not in this birth, maybe next birth, maybe next birth, maybe birth after that, but a day will come when these jijñāsus, these inquisitive people as to who is the Lord, who am I, what is my relation with the Lord, even that faint amount of inquisitiveness, Sri Krishna says, that will lead to their liberation. It is not that they have wasted their time in thinking about me. Even thinking, just think about me. You will get it. So Sri Krishna says, such jijñāsur, they worship me. Arthārthī, those who are seeking some material gains, we go to temple and we make a vow. Oh Lord, let this happen. Let me win a lottery ticket. I will give you 10% of that. So that kind of arthārthī. Even the material seekers of some wealth, seekers of some material gains, even they worship me. The intention is not spiritual, maybe materialistic, but still they worship me. And Sri Krishna says, even that is in a way good than being one of those dushkrutinaha, mudha and naradhamaha. So, arthārthī and jñānī cha bharatarṣhabha, and the wise one, the people of realization, best among the Bharatas. So Sri Krishna is addressing Arjuna as bharatarṣhabha, because Arjuna is not in the category of the people enumerated by Sri Krishna in the 15th Shloka. Arjuna is a worshipper of the Lord. And why Sri Krishna has addressed him as bharatarṣhabha, the best among the Bharatas? Because he has the potential of becoming a jñānī, the fourth type of people who worship Sri Krishna, who worship the Lord, who worship the divine. He is a jñānī, basically come over by that ignorance, by that illusion, that temporary illusion. It is a temporary illusion under which Arjuna has got trapped. And Sri Krishna knows. And he has in fact taken shelter at the feet of the Lord, saying, please guide me. So he has the potential of becoming the jñānī, the fourth category of people Sri Krishna has told us in this shloka, who worship me. 4 types of virtuous men worship me, O Arjuna. The man in distress, the man seeking knowledge, the man seeking wealth, and the man imbued with wisdom. The last category, that is what Arjuna belongs to, and therefore Sri Krishna says, O bharatarṣhabha, O best of the Bharatas. These are the 4 types of people who worship me. Now, distress comes to beings in one form or another at some time or other. All of us who have taken birth, we have to undergo the suffering, we have to face the sorrows, we have to face distress, we have to face all these kind of things. And no one is devoid of these. So avoidance of it is impossible to the embodied. The moment we take a body, the moment we take birth, distress and misery and sorrow and unhappiness and unpleasantness, it is bound to be there. There is no escape. While we always seek joy and happiness and pleasantries and all the goodies, it cannot happen. Because in the realm of Maya, these things never come alone. They come in pairs of opposites. And if we want joy, we have to also face sorrow. If we want happiness, we also have to face unhappiness. If we want all the pleasantries, we also have miseries accompanying them. We have the distress accompanying all the good things. Just as medicine is resorted to cure disease, the way of the devoted is to supplicate the divine for deliverance from the distress, from the miseries. Mostly it is seen the moment we are in distress, the moment we are in a sorrowful situation, we suddenly remember the Lord. Oh Lord, pull me out of this mess. Give me good days. Enough of the bad days for me, oh Lord. And that's when we start praying. And that is the reason our Holy Mother, Ma Sarada, she keeps on telling her disciples and devotees that misery is a blessing of the Lord. It is because of the compassion of the Lord. It is a sign of His compassion that He has put us in the misery, because when we are in misery, when we are in trouble, it gives us an opportunity to call upon the Lord. When good times are there, we just take everything for granted. So what? I mean, it has happened good, okay. But the moment little bad happens, then our antenna strikes and then we start communing with the God. Then we start getting in touch with the Lord. Then we start, becoming closer to the Divine Mother. Oh Mother, please help me, help me, help me. So distress is one of the biggest motives, Sri Krishna says. But fine, Sri says, nothing wrong in that. It is only under the distress when we start appealing to the Lord to remove my misery, to remove my pain, to remove my sorrow, then we also find the help. It is a different matter, although the help comes from within. All the help is there within us. Lord only, reveals that it is there. Lord just takes up the covering which has hidden that help within us. So, that is one type of people. When the modesty of Queen Draupadi was at stake in the assembly of Kauravas, she piteously sought the protection of Sri Krishna. Now, it is not that even the pious, holy people, the devotees, they are also in distress. It is not that they don't get into distress. They do get, like Draupadi. What was the reason for her to be disrobed in the full assembly? But she had to undergo that thing, and she started pleading to the Lord. And that great Lord, out of His compassion, out of His love for His devotee, out of His love and compassion, He just protected Draupadi from getting derobed. His help did come to save her from that situation. So that is what happens. When in distress, call upon the Lord. Lord will come and Lord will save. Lord will protect us. The lives of many a devotee bear testimony to the fact that the Lord comes to the rescue to the pious in distress. And while talking about the distress, it is mostly, yes, it is the devotees who suffer most. Having taken this body, we have to suffer, but then devotees know one thing, this suffering. If the good days are given by the Lord, the bad days are also given by the Lord. It is His botheration to put me in distress, His botheration to pull me out of it. Why should I worry? This is the outlook of the devotees. There is a difference between the outlook. Those who are devoted, those who are true bhaktas, for them misery is also a gift of God. So that is one part of ārto, who worship the Lord. The man seeking knowledge is designated here as jijñāsur. It is not given to all to become seekers of God knowledge. It is those rare few who get into this inquisitiveness of God knowledge. Let me know what it is. The jijñāsa, that is the original word. The inquisitiveness, anxiety to know the Lord. The rare few who seek obtain it unmistakably, and that's what Sri Krishna has says. Maybe they may obtain it after a few cycles of birth and death, but they will certainly attain to it. They have come out of that scale of zero. Maybe they are 0.00001, but they are not zero. And their progress has started. The Lord sees to it that the spiritual thirst of the devotee never goes unslacked. The recent seeker of God knowledge was Swami Vivekananda, and Providence made provision for his obtaining it. He was a great seeker, Swamiji. And in fact, when he was in great distress, his family was in dire circumstances, his mother and younger brothers and sisters. They were in such a bad shape, no food to eat. They were driven away of their rightful ownership of the house. That huge palatial, dwelling, ancestral dwelling. Their relatives, they had thrown them away. But the seeker of knowledge, when Swamiji went to Ramakrishna, his guru, that please ask your mother to remove my poverty. Ask your mother to give me some wealth. Sri Ramakrishna said, I am not going to ask. You better go and ask her. Why should I ask for you? And what did Swamiji ask for? Swamiji asked for knowledge. Swamiji asked for devotion. Swamiji asked for renunciation. Amake bhakti dao, amake gaan dao, amake bairagya dao. So that was it was inherent in him, that desire for knowledge. And Lord, in spite of putting him under such unfortunate circumstances, that desire for knowledge, desire for devotion, desire for renunciation, it had never left him. And the Lord, the Divine Mother, He made the provision for that. She made the provision for that. The man seeking wealth usually works for it, and that is the proper way. One type of devotees work for it, praying to the Lord at the same time for easy acquisition of the wealth. Like somebody may actually slog to earn in a rightful manner, which is a wonderful thing. While praying to the Lord, oh Lord, give me such a wonderful job that I can earn good money. I can use that money for the betterment of humanity. I can spend it on your children. God answers. And there may be some doing nothing. Oh Lord, let me win a lottery ticket. Just sitting at home, buying a lottery ticket of $100, praying to Lord, oh, give me 1 crore. KBC. Maybe there is, yes, some kind of effort and knowledge involved, but then give me such questions that I can answer them and I can become crorepati, oh Lord. So that also can happen. The man, now that's the third category. The arthārthī. The artha, jijñāsur, arthārthī, and now the jñānī. Ultimate jñānī. The man imbued with wisdom is here classified as jñānī, one who has actually realized the truth. He is the one who has gained the insight that Brahman is the reality. He is the top of all. He is the gem of all. He is the one among the worshippers of the Lord. That's what Sri Krishna said. Adoring the reality to the exclusion of the appearance is but natural to this person. Reality, the understanding of the reality, that oneness with the Brahman and oneness with all the beings in this universe. So, these are the 4 types of people who worship me. That is what Sri Krishna says. Among the people who believe in God, these are the 4 types who seek to contact Him, who seek to reach Him, each according to his own understanding and attainments. They may be at different levels of success in realization, but They are at some level. They are not the sub-zero level like the four the categories that Sri Krishna says. They don't even worship me. They don't even seek me. Forget about worshipping. So that is Sri Krishna's teaching about the four types of people who worship me. And what Sri Ramakrishna has to say on this? Sri Ramakrishna says, blessed are they who keep God as their goal and strive accordingly. Rather than being a dushkrutinaha, rather than being a mudha, rather than being a naradhamaha. Sri Ramakrishna says, blessed are they who keep God as their goal. Maybe they are at the starting point of ārto or a jijñāsur, doesn't matter. They are still blessed. Zeros have no value, but they gain in value when linked to number one. Sri Ramakrishna. See, Sri Ramakrishna giving this wonderful example, the importance of one before zero. Sri Ramakrishna himself totally illiterate. He couldn't study mathematics at all. The moment his teacher, when he was a child, started teaching him mathematics, his head started swirling. For him, 1, 2, 3, 4, it meant no it was no meaning for him. He used to really get frustrated by studying that class of mathematics, which finally he gave up. And this Sri Ramakrishna, he is telling us the importance of one before zero. Zero doesn't have any value as such. God is the number one and all the worldly things are zero. And therefore always Sri Ramakrishna used to say, put God before everything and then you jump into the world life of the worldly life. But first hold on to the God. Put one before that zero, then any number of zeros you put, it will go on adding the value to it. But not without putting one before that zero. Independent of God, they are mere ciphers. Ciphers is zero. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Innumerable zeros you put. Does it have any value? But you put one before them. But when associated with him, they gain in importance. If we put across 10 zeros, they have no values, but put one before them. The millions and billions and trillions, and then it gets some value. So Sri Ramakrishna says that at least start thinking about God. Come out of that level of zero. Come out of that level of being a dushkritina. Come out of that level of being a mudha. Come out of that level of being a naradhama. Put one before that zero and you will see the miracles happening. You will get the ultimate realization. You will get the illumination. You will get the enlightenment. And that is a sure way of success. That's what Sri Krishna says. That is what Sri Ramakrishna also has said in this example. Now, this was the 16th shlok that we read. Sri Krishna talking about the four types of people who worship the divine. Now, who is best among them? Sri Krishna is going to tell us in our 17th shloka, which we will take up the reading next. Till then, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ba. Jai Swamiji.